What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my video. So today is going to be a really cool quick video, and it's just basically my updated base routine of what I've been doing this year so far. We're only like a week and a half, 2 weeks into the year, and I have noticed that I've been underpainting. Yes, I've done some crazy things. I don't know what's happened to me this year. New year, new you type of thing, but I've been underpainting and I really like it. You guys enjoy this video. If you are not subscribed to my channel, I hope by the end of the video you do decide to go ahead and subscribe to the channel and become one of my lovies, one of my sun rays. Do not follow me on Instagram. I don't know what y'all waiting on. Like, I'll have it linked down below and I have it on the screen. Please follow me on Instagram at Courtney Ray Beauty, so you can see everything that I'm doing, what I got going on. I do a lot of stuff there, and then I transition it over here. Some things that I don't do here, I do there, and I want you to stay up to date with everything that I'm doing. And I hope you all have already started to have a wonderful new year. And without further ado, let's get into this video. I realized that once I was editing, I lost all my audio, so I have to do a voiceover, and I'm gonna try to keep up with the video. Of my nose yet, because I noticed I have to blend out the contour first, and that just defeats the purpose of putting that down there. So what I've been doing lately is blending out the contour first, then blending out the concealer, and then when all of that is blended, I'll add the concealer down the bridge of my nose last. So now I'm doing the fine shade. That shade is Fine. That's the name of the shade. And I'm adding that on top to help brighten. And I put too much. I didn't realize so much was on the brush tip. And you will see when I blend it out how bright it is. But I don't feel too bad because when I watch tutorials and stuff, their under eye is super bright. So I just went with it. So I'm gonna blend out the contour now with a brush. Some people use sponge, but I use brush because I feel like the cream products blend out a lot better with the brush. And this is a Wet n Wild brush. I literally got this brush from Dollar Tree, but it's an angled contour brush, I believe. But any angled contour brush would work, or just any brush in particular that's small enough to blend out contour. So, and you can see how more natural that shade is looking. If I had to use the cool tone one, like a darker cool tone one, it wouldn't been as natural looking. Now, if I want to go full glam, I probably could use a darker contour, but I like the way this looks. It just makes me look like I've been on the beach and I just got a tan. So I got this as a gift from one of my friends at work. It's the Real Technique limited edition brush set. And it came with brushes for your face, compact mirror, and a sponge. And I was just letting you know that I want to start blending out my concealer this year with a brush versus a sponge, just to see the difference. When I see other people do it, it looks really nice. So I think I want to start doing that, and I was just showing you the brushes that I got, and I was going to start with that brush, but a sponge came in the collection, and I'm going to use that sponge to blend out my highlighted portion. And I let it sit as long as I did, just so that it could be more full coverage, because if I had to just went ahead and blended it out, it just would have all soaked up on the sponge. If you've been doing makeup for a while, you kind of know. You let your concealers and things sit for a while, dry down a little bit, and it'll be a little bit more full coverage. So I'm just blending that out, and you see how bright that under eye is with those two concealers mixed. And that HD one that's like the dupe for the LA Girl, it's very thick, so a little bit goes a long way, and I didn't realize so much was on the tip when I put it on my chin. So around my mouth, my chin area is very light, more light than I like, but for the sake of underpainting, I'm gonna try to make it work. And as I was filming and looking back, and I realized I forgot to blend out the concealer on my forehead. Like, completely forgot. But I'm gonna take the other flat end and blend everything together, so it can just come together a little bit better. It won't be such harsh lines around where that super bright concealer is. Still forgot to blend out the forehead. So now I'm just showing you how much more natural it looks. Now I'm gonna go on top of everything with foundation. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Dewy in the shade Cocoa. So when you underpaint, that's just your base, and then you go on top of it with your foundation, and it gives you a more natural look. So I am going to just apply the foundation all over my face. And I have been doing this for the first week of the year, and I've been using different foundations every time. But Wet n Wild is normally my everyday foundation for like work and stuff. So I just know that it'll work. I just should have put a little bit more around that light area, but it's gonna come together. If you guys have made it this far into the video, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and make sure you guys subscribe so you can stay updated with everything that I'm going to upload for the year. Got some real cool things that I'm thinking about doing, and I want you guys to be part of that. And you can already see with the foundation being added, it toned down the brightness. And I really like this foundation. It just works for my skin tone and my skin texture because I'm oily and it's dewy, but it just gives me a really nice glow. It blends well. It works well with other products. Like, I have no issues with this, and it's affordable. It's like $4.99, $5, something like that. And you can get it many places: Amazon, Walgreens, Five Below. It's wonderful. So that's how it looks blended together. And it kind of looks like I just applied my foundation normally, but just more, I guess, flawless. And underpainting is really good if you have like discoloration, because I would notice if I would put foundation on without underpainting on my forehead, it would be so light. But since I put that bronzy shade there, it just all blended in together and it just looks so much more natural. So I'm gonna stick with this technique for at least another month. And then I'm gonna blend everything back in, soak up whatever the brush, because brushes don't soak up everything. They just place it there. And if you don't blend it and make sure everything's soaked up, that's how your makeup tends to look cakey. And I didn't go all the way down my neck like I would normally do, so you see those dark marks and all of that stuff. But we're just gonna focus on the face, okay? Just the face. So I wanted to bring back the brightness, so I'm gonna go back in with that fine shade and just add a little bit more just so it can brighten under my under eyes. And then I'm going to actually use it on my nose. And once I start to blend it out, you can see it all come together and just look a little bit more put together once that brightness is added back. And this technique is not going to make your application faster. It's not going to speed up the process. It's just going to make your makeup look better. And I feel like you kind of use the same amount of product, but it just makes it look so much better. So now I am going to go back with that same contour brush and just blend back out the edges of my contour so that everything is back nice and bronzed, because I lost a little bit from the concealer. And now I'm going to set all of the places where I put concealer. And I use those two powders. I go back between the Wet n Wild and the Kiss banana powder, but I'm going to use the Kiss today because my Wet n Wild translucent is almost gone. So I'm just going to save that. I got some Airspun powder that I've had for like 4 years. And I just really don't use it because it's translucent, but I still see that white cast. So I just try to stay away from it. This banana powder is more like a translucent to me. Like, it disappears depending on how much I put on. Like, I put a lot on because I put such heavy concealer on, but I normally just set barely. And when I dust it off, it works more like translucent. And I'm not gonna bake. I'm just gonna lightly set. Like, I'm gonna press it in as much as I can, and then once I do the other contour portion, I'm gonna dust it all off. And I am gonna carve out my cheeks. When I underpaint, I carve out my cheeks just so you can see the definition. But I normally on a regular day do not carve out my cheeks because I do not like that white line that it leaves. But if you want a flawless, like, full glam look, carving out your cheeks is the key. It just snatches the face. So I'm gonna let that sit. And then I'm going to set my contour. And I'm using the Wet n Wild In Love with Cocoa face palette to set my contour. This is one of my favorite contour shades thus far. I have many contour shades, contour palettes. Like, I have one from BH Cosmetics, and I just have a lot of single pan contour powders, or bronzers, but I always seem to like the way my makeup turns out when I use this particular powder. And it's very pigmented, so you don't need much. Like, that's all I put on the brush, and it does my whole face. And I don't have to dip back in. So it'll last a long time. And I'll have that linked if you want to get it. I got it when it first launched at Target, and at the time it was only exclusive to Target, so I don't know if you can get it anywhere else, but I'm pretty sure you can get it on the Wet n Wild website, but I'll have it linked. But yeah, I don't know the name of the shade, but I just love that shade. So now I'm gonna dust off the powder. And it really brightened up my face. Tutorial, because you might more than likely see me doing this technique if I do my base on any other tutorial. If I'm doing an eyeshadow tutorial, 9 times out of 10, I'm just going to focus on the eyes, so my base will already be done. But if I'm going to do, like, testing new products and it's face products, you'll see me using this technique more. Now I'm going to finish off the face, and then we'll be done. Okay, everybody, I'm done. This is the finished look. This is my new updated 2022 base routine of what I do. I am starting to underpaint this year. I don't know how long I'm gonna do it, but this is the final look. And I'm happy with the look. It comes out the way that it's been coming out, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys learned something. If you did, make sure you leave me a comment down below and let me know your favorite part, what you learned, if you do the same thing that I do, if you use similar products, or just anything you want to leave me down below. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.